there is a case that was tried by the DOJ, not to conclusion, but it was tried in Michigan of a Chinese student voting in the election. Too bad the vote's already in, it counted, and that Chinese student was spirited away.
He was.
Remarkably, even though we had seized his passport, visa, and we had him on lockdown, the Chinese government was able to engage in some type of Jason Bourne level espionage to get that Chinaman back to China after committing a felony crime here in America. So if they are that willing, if the government of China is that willing to take that extraordinary step in order to parachute in to enemy territory and get one of theirs back, how widespread do you think this actually was? You know, that's just the one we caught. And then two, why don't more people know about that? That the Chinese government engaged in a hostage rescue of an illegal voter behind enemy lines.
Well, the reason we don't know more about it is because our intelligence community, in the end of Trump and throughout the entire Trump won and throughout the entirety of Biden administration, kept this stuff under lock and key. They hid it. There's a moment where the driver's license intelligence, they're going to be sending driver's licenses in because they're going to vote for Joe Biden, and the FBI, it meets the threshold for alerting the CIA and the NSA and all the other intelligence agencies, hey, act on this. The FBI calls it back and orders that intelligence to be destroyed. They engaged in a cover-up. They kept our own country's intelligence services from defending us. We don't have an answer why such malicious actions were taken, why things that were clear and present dangers to the election system were kept covered up, and in some cases ordered recalled. We see some indications of the politics. They don't like Trump. We got that. We have admissions. They were running I think as the FBI supervisor at the time wrote, a shadow government to keep the secret. But that 6-year effort to keep it secret until Donald Trump finally put the key in the lock and unblocked this box of documents kept us from finding out what did China really do. How many more people are there like this that voted or sent licenses in? We were flying blind for 6 years because the Biden intelligence apparatus, and quite frankly, the end of Trump 1's intelligence apparatus, made a conscious decision to cover this up. So we're still flying blind. We're just starting to get to it. Remember, early on in the Biden administration, the Biden Justice Department ordered the Chris Wray FBI to shut down the FBI's premier Chinese counterintelligence program. It was called the China Initiative. They ordered it shut down at a time when China's threats to the United States were higher than ever before. That's when they're bringing in the pathogens, right? That's when we got the lab leak. This intelligence community lied about China's origins of the virus in the Wuhan lab, and I think they lied. They tried to cover up the voting irregularities or the voting efforts. They tried to cover up the China acquisition of the voter files. If our intelligence community is supposed to protect us, we have a pretty serious question. Why have they been hiding all this from the American public? And why is Donald Trump only the first president to unlock the key and let us see it? We're just starting to get active measures going again to find out why these things happened, how much of it happened. It's going to take us months to get there, I assume. But at least now, the people who are in the dark are in the know now, and it allows us to follow the roadmap and see how many more people. When you ask how many non-citizens or foreigners are in a position to vote in the election, the documents that we got declassified through the president last month give us an answer. In just 18 states that they looked at, less than half the country, they found 270,000 plus non-citizens who made it on the voter rolls. And the Democrats immediately said, lie, not true. And their media friends said, lie, not true. And then New Jersey's governor came out and said, oh, no, it's true. I had 6,600 on my voter rolls, and 400 of them actually got to vote. 400 foreigners voted in New Jersey federal elections. Largest group we've ever seen in history. So the president's recent declassifications are already having a domino effect, but it'll take us 6 months to a year to figure out what China accomplished, what Venezuela accomplished, what the foreigners that got on voter rolls, did they vote in large numbers or just the 400 in New Jersey? But the good news is after 6 years of being kept in the dark, the process has begun. We've removed the veil, and now we can get to the bottom of the truth.
So I just want to maybe we shatter one myth of the 2020 election, which is that it was the most secure election in American history. It was perhaps the least secure election in American history. I'm sure you would contend, you would agree with that.
It certainly was a far less secure election than we were led to believe. We were given a sugar pill in December of 2020, and it wasn't true.